So, continuing on from my anemia, I did say I'll come back and talk about the blood in the stool. Within this video, there's going to be a lot of TMI, and for those that are squeamish, I'm not going to tell you to switch off, I'm going to tell you to listen up. This story starts with going back to Saturday the 5th of March. Of a morning, I'm regular in regards to my bowel movements. But that morning, going to the toilet, I had my bowel movement, didn't think of anything of it. But I'm the type of person that always looks behind when I wipe and when I flush. So I'm getting off the toilet seat, looking behind me and seeing a pool of blood, as well as my feces, stool, whatever you want to call it. I didn't want to panic just at that moment. I said, no, Lynn, don't panic. Let it go. And I just let it go. Probably about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes later, I went back again to do a number 2. My stomach was just doing a madness. Went back again, did a number 2, and again, I still had blood in the stool. Again, I tried to dismiss it. But I was starting to get worried at this point. Again, went back about my business. Probably an hour later, went to do a third bowel movement. And again, the same thing happened. This time, the blood was coming out properly. In my first 2 bowel movements, the first one was quite small. The second one, a little bit more. But by the third one, properly, the bowl. Splatter around the sides of the bowl. That's how much blood we're talking about, as well as the feces. At that point, it was a worrying moment. But again, I didn't want to panic too much. I've done the anxiety, the panic attacks. I've suffered with those in the past. And I've learned how to sort of cope in those situations. This happened between, let's say, the hours of 9:30 till about midday. I had a few things to do that day. So I went out about my business, did some shopping and whatever else I had to do. Came back about 5:30. And again, I wanted to do a number 2. At that point, again, the bowl was full. But this time, I was seeing more of a purpley, black, reddish type of clotting forming, mixed in with the poo. This is where the panic set in. It was at that point I said, right, okay, I'm going to call my daughter to come and pick me up and take me to A&E, because this is the moment I need to see what's going on. And this is a Saturday, so the doctor's surgery is not open. And to be honest, if the doctor's surgery was open, I wouldn't have gone there anyway. I would have gone to A&E. That's just how I behave, especially in this type of situation. I bypass the middleman. We're going straight to the hospital. So on this occasion, I called my daughter and I told her what was going on. And she was very much like, Mum, before you go to A&E, call 111. It's like a pre-emergency line in the UK. So I rang them. Didn't really want to ring them, because I knew to myself, I don't care what they say. I'm going A&E anyway. So that was my head. But I thought, right, okay, I'm going to follow what you've just said. So I rang them. They put me through a whole heap of questions about my movement, my bowel movements and so forth, and how much blood I was excreting. Oh, I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean. So when we come to the end of all the questioning, he asked me, how many cupfuls would you say you could fill? And I said, to be honest, definitely over a mug, if not more. Every bowel movement. Definitely a mug I can fill. It was at that point the guy on the phone turned around and said, right, hold on a minute, we're just going to find the nearest place for you to go to. In my head, I already knew where the nearest hospital was. But when he said the nearest location, I wasn't too sure whether he was talking about a doctor's surgery or something. So I just waited out. He came back, told me what hospital to go to. I said, oh, thanks for that, because I was actually going to go there anyway. But yeah, but thanks for your help. And I put the phone down, called my daughter back. Marnie, come and get me. We're going to the hospital. And she's very much like, Mum, I'll be there in 20. So I said, right, okay, I'm going to get myself ready and we're going to the hospital. So she come and got me, dropped me off. We're still in the process of COVID, so it wasn't so open that anybody could come in with me. So I said I'll call her once I know what was going on. So the first thing they did was took your information. Then you'd see like a pre-nurse beforehand that will take you do a urine sample, as well as they will take your bloods as well. And then it's all a waiting game. And the waiting game was probably about a good 3 hours waiting. That was a long way. It always is. Been there more than once. So, had a waiting game. I got to a point where, right, I need to go to the toilet. I don't know when this doctor's going to come out and see me. Because there was quite a few people in the waiting room. And I thought, right, that person's gone, right, okay. Let me quickly go to the toilet. I'm hoping that they don't call my name whilst I'm in the toilet. Exactly what they did. Call my name whilst I was in the toilet. Just as I was leaving the toilet, thank God, I heard my name rung, and I was very much, yeah, over here. She said, oh, nearly missed you. I said, yeah, you did. But anyway, we're going to, so this doctor took me round to the sort of cubicle that I need to go to, and told me to wait here while she got my notes, etc. And then she was asking me all the questions about when did you start, when did your blood start, etc. And anything that's triggered it. I said, I haven't got a clue. I haven't had any. And then she's asking me, have you had any pains? I said, nothing at all. And how about when you wipe? Are you feeling any pains? No. So at that point, she got her gloves, told me to pull my trousers down. I had my tracksuit bottoms on, and told me to pull down my knickers and get on the bed sideways with my bottom out. And she got her glove. She said, right, I'm going to check your behind. I'm going to put a finger in, so just be ready. So she did her checking up the backside around that area, and she was asking me the question, does it hurt? I said, no. Is it meant to hurt? I said, okay. She said, so you're not feeling any pain? I said, no. And at the same time, I think she was checking for, is it piles? Hemorrhoids, or what you call it? Wasn't feeling any type of experience like that. Sorry, I was meant to say, when I went toilet in the actual hospital, I was still bleeding at that point. So when she was poking around my behind, there was blood on her finger, as well as the tissue that she wiped me with. Now she was going to check my stomach. So I'm lying on the bed. She's prodding around my stomach. I said, are you feeling pressing for any tenderness? I said, no. Seriously, I haven't got any pain whatsoever. No pain around the back area. No pain around my stomach. I have no clue where this blood has come from. So she was trying to get her head round all of this. And the blood, what I noticed when I was in the hospital, the blood was starting to be clotty. There was a clottiness about it. So it's much more black, purpley. Yeah, it had that look about it, which made her slightly more weary about, this blood is quite thick and very much clots. So she decided to go and see one of the consultants that happened to be on the ward where she was checking me out. And they specialised in like colonoscopies and all stuff like that. So because of my age, because of my, not so much my medical history, but my family medical history, she said, right, what we're going to do, we're going to check you in for a colonoscopy, an endoscopy, a CT scan, and can't think of what else. Yeah, I think they were the major ones. Yeah, colonoscopy, endoscopy, and a CT scan. And we're going to, someone's going to give you a call on Monday. So this was Saturday, as I mentioned, and someone's going to give you a call on Monday. But from the signs of it, can't see what's going on at the moment, but we'd like to sort of look further into this. I said, thank you, that's what I want to hear. That something's getting done, because I didn't like the thought of this blood just coming out of nowhere and not knowing where it's come from. And then on top of that, she turned around and told me I was anemic as well. God help me. But when I think about it deeply, I'm thinking, yeah, I can understand the anemia because of the loss of blood as well. So that makes sense. But I think I was anemic before that and not known, and I didn't know this. Just to add, my blood levels in regards to my haemoglobin sat at 103 GLs. It should be 115 to 165 for your bloods, and mine was at 103 on that particular day. Anyway, after seeing her, got my daughter to pick me up, went home. I said when I got home, went toilet again, still blood. So come the Sunday, I was still bleeding every time I did a number 2. And I think I did a number 2 probably twice that day, if I remember rightly. And the blood was still a lot, but not as much as the Saturday. So it's starting to die down. Another thing I've meant to say, with the stools, they were coming out more diarrhea-like. That was on the Saturday. So, yeah, so that was on the Saturday. The stools were, yeah, very much like diarrhea, mixing with blood. Yeah. On the Sunday, I was still experiencing that, but not as much blood. On the Monday, the stools had started to form much more, as they do, like a lob. Yeah, more in that form. So it wasn't so much, yeah, wasn't as watery, let's put it that way. Soft, but you could see there was still blood in the poo. By the Tuesday, that really had calmed down. There was hardly any blood left in my stool. By the Wednesday, I was back to normal. Yeah, but it was a scary moment that lasted about 3 days with, like I say, a loss of blood. But then life went back to normal. Haven't seen any blood since, and we're 5-6 weeks later. On the Monday, as the doctor told me, I did get a call from a senior, and they asked me a whole heap of questions again. And then I think it was the Friday of that week that my appointment started all to come in. So I had a text message as well as an official letter to say when I was to come for the endoscopy, the colonoscopy, and also the CT scan. The endoscopy and the colonoscopy were both going to be done back to back. So I had what you call top and tail. Yeah. All on the same day. So this was on the 5th of March. This happened with the A&E. The colonoscopy and the endoscopy happened on the 24th of March. I remember it because it's my friend's birthday that day. That's how I remember that one. 24th of March. The CT scan, I can't remember. I think it's a week later. But I'm going to come back and talk about the actual day of the endoscopy because I did actually film it. Not too sure why. I just felt I needed to. And for someone like myself that has suffered with anxiety and panic attacks in the past, I still do on the odd occasion suffer with anxiety. I just thought filming this might just help someone. Again, the reason why I decided to talk about this is in the UK we have a campaign called No Buts, and it's all about bowel cancer. If you're seeing blood in your poo, please do not dismiss it. Do what you need to do and get yourself sorted. It could be something, or it may be nothing. I know which one I'd choose. Peace of mind every single time.